scholars for dollars. You know what I mean? That's a label, a stigma.
I'm not going to hold back, but I think I don't want to say something.
We don't want to upset anyone either and give off the wrong.
Oh no, I'm happy to upset people if I feel like they're doing something wrong.
I was like straight, supply and demand.
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. You being a bad boy speaker, khatib, right? He's going to have a higher rate because he's more in demand.
But is he not taking advantage of his position a little bit?
Here's the question, isn't it?
The guy had a rate card. And on the rate card you've seen it, yeah?
Whoa.
I'll tell you how bad the rate card gets. It's like invitation to the organizer's house this much. Price for everything.
That's a straight X. Do you get paid for you organizing majalis?
No.
Okay, why not? Why is the khatib getting a hadiyah, the radud getting a hadiyah, but not you? I'll say it. We give him a hadiyah, turn around, give the hadiyah back to us. This has happened with plenty of reciters.
They understand the climate.
I don't use the word corruption, but you'd get people taking advantage of the situation.
In what way?
There's a lot of stuff that we can say here.
عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بالحسين عليه السلام. سلام على الحسين وعلي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. Brothers and sisters, welcome to the Shia Vibes podcast, where we'll be discussing Khidma, the etiquettes of Khidma, the etiquettes of the Majlis. Are we sincerely giving our time and efforts towards Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam, or are we mainly there to benefit for ourselves, maybe our reputation? Maybe we have turned, God forbid, this into a business. Inshallah, to discuss more, I'm with my brothers Hussein Sukhni and Saif Ali Khan. Adhamullah ajurna wa ajurkum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I guess it's a really, really hot subject, being that all of us have done some form of khidmah. We understand the seriousness, the sincerity. We understand the etiquettes. We understand that when we do khidmah, it's not a joke. This is ibadat.
Yes.
It's an honor.
We have someone superior to answer to, whether that be Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Fatima al-Zahra salamu alayha, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're being carefully watched, every single inch and every single chain of thought is being monitored and surveillanced. So, brothers, let's start off with khidmah and the importance of khidmah and where it can go wrong. Mr. Sukhni.
Okay, starting off with me.
Take the floor, go on.
Fantastic. I think you asked the question in the perfect way. What is it? At the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, it's khidmah. Khidmah is what? Service. We are servants. And we need to act like servants. We need to serve not just Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, we need to serve the Zawar of Imam al-Hussein, those that come to mourn for Imam al-Hussein. If we claim that we want to, establish majalis and run majalis, as they say, and organize majalis, then we need to uphold ourselves in the mannerisms of those who are khiddam of Imam al-Hussein. There's ways to behave and there's ways to...
So what have you seen that maybe was inappropriate?
So look, at the end of the day, there's millions of Shia around the world. Yeah, there's millions of different groups around the world. Forget people from your city and from follow your marja or whatever it is. In the same city, same following, same culture, same everything, you'll have two majalis operate differently. So you'll always get, I don't use the word corruption, but you'd always get people taking advantage.
Corruption.
Yeah, I don't want to use that word. It is a bit heavy, but you'd get people taking advantage of the situation.
In what way?
There's a lot of stuff that we can say here. Let's take it a step back. I'll get to that.
I feel like he's really trying to hold back.
I'm not going to hold back, but I think I don't want to say something up
Obviously,
front.
I mean, we don't want to upset anyone either and give off the wrong.
Oh no, I'm happy to upset people if I feel like they're doing something wrong. Yeah,
so I got your back, bro.
Yeah, bro. And at the end of the day, we're not ma'sumin. There's some stuff that I do that's wrong as well, and I'd appreciate either of you or anyone telling me, listen, Sukhni, I think you've done this wrong.
Yeah.
And my brothers in Khidma, they do that. My boys, people that actually respect me will do that.
Correcting,
advising, supporting, I think that's important. But yeah, if we take a step back, we've got to see again, why are we doing what we are doing? Okay, I want to have a majlis, for example, for the istishhad of Imam Hussein al-Askari. Yeah, just so people think we're talking about them. This is a general discussion. What does a majlis need?
venue.
Again, it depends on what kind of group you are. I know people who have a majlis in a tent under train tracks without speakers.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. And that's one of the best majalis I've been to.
Yeah.
You know?
Nothing wrong with that.
Like, I'm going to say that their name's Al-Hassan.
Big up.
Big up Al-Hassan, bro. The majalis they have there. I don't even understand the language, but it's the most sincere majlis that I've been to.
Yeah.
And I feel it in the heart.
Them boys are from Lahore, I think, originally. But Pakistani style, it's like in a field, a tent in the field.
Bismillah, majlis is a majlis.
Mic, speaker. Yo, go.
Bismillah. And there's some places that, no, they require more. They don't require more, but they feel like...
Upgrade.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're doing this for who? We're doing this for the King of Kings, for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. So when I do Sayyid al-Shuhada, salamullahi alayhi, may my life be sacrificed to him. So I want to do the best that I can. I want to have the best food on the spread, the best sawad, nothing that's creased. I want to have the best banner. I want to have the best
Obviously.
cameras so people can see the majlis comfortably later, the best reciter. And this stuff does cost money, you know? And that's where it gets, you know, funny, when money gets involved. You know,
money can ruin things, and I've noticed this with the Iraqi community as well. You man are bare competitive. Every mokib is competing with every mokib.
I think it's a good thing.
Have to be better than that, and this and that.
I think it's a good thing if you're not destroying, your intention not to destroy the other mokib.
That's the thing, though.
Yeah, if I'm holding a majlis to say, you know what, on all the people that go to that majlis come to mine, so I bring the better reciter for that. I think that's completely wrong. But if I say no, I want to compete so I can present my khidmah in the better way, and inshallah that mokib can do even better than I have done, so they can get Bismillah.
There's raising the standard bar.
Raising the standard.
I think that's a better way of saying it. Not competition, but raising the bar. Raising the bar.
Yeah, 100%. You know, like, make your majlis better. I'll support you to do your majlis better than mine. Do you get it?
Do you not think that kind of opens a big can of worms?
Again, you know, إنما الأعمال بالنيات, so it comes down to intentions.
Exactly.
But me, if I'm holding a majlis, that's how I try to think, and I'm sure majority of the people in London try to think like that. But obviously, you get a few anomalies. Again, not just London, everywhere in the world.
Don't worry, the devil continues to whisper.
We're not ma'sumin, you know. And you start seeing some funny figures coming out. You know, I understand viewpoints as well. Like, for example, if you don't pay someone a certain amount, people won't respect that speaker, for example, or that reciter. I understand that.
Man's going for the money straight away.
No, because that's the reality. That's usually where the issues happen. You know, so for example, if I was, let's use me as an example, yeah, I'll come to Imam Hussein TV, they ask me to do a show. If I told them I'll do it for free, they'll know Sukhni is available whenever, you know, we'll just...
They'll take advantage.
Not take advantage, but they'll know he's there, if you have any show open on. If I say no, I charge, for example, £200 a show. It's a random number, I don't... Relax, everyone. Yeah,
we wish.
We wish.
We wish we got paid something like that.
Hamza, head, please take note.
We don't even get paid. It's like,
I was about to say, you guys are getting paid.
And that's another thing as well. The question is paid or hadiyah, but we'll get to that as well. Yeah. When I say I want to get paid that much in hadiyah, then maybe start to respect me more as a person. And maybe,
okay, but
do you get it?
Do you not think, like, for example, okay, I've had the opportunity to recite some majalis of Imam Hussein. Yeah. For me, I think to myself that one thing I don't want to do, and not saying that if people do it, it's fine, but is just refusing money for whatever reason, yeah? I think that, call me, think I'm worthless, whatever it is, it's up to the Imam ultimately. It's up to God if I get given the opportunity to recite 100%. The Majlis. So if people disrespect me, whatever it is, my intention is that wherever they'll drag me, that means the poorest man can... call me to his majlis, the richest man can call me to his majlis. Yeah, I'm open to be able to give that.
That's fine.
If a poor person tells you I want to have a majlis, you won't say no, right?
Yeah.
But if you know someone, for example, Muhsin has a majlis and he's inviting the Noha reciter, £500 for the night.
Okay.
But you as a speaker, he doesn't call you a cab, for example.
Eb, I would never do that.
Is that not Eb?
Yeah, of course it is Eb.
And especially you know that Muhsin has the ability to accommodate or assist, or at least have balance in the thing. So I think that's where the discrepancy is when it comes to...
But you mentioned like I know 200 was just an amount.
Yeah. These are just random numbers, by
but as in, does the amount make a difference? Like, does it affect the level of respect that you're gaining?
But the other thing is,
you need...
Well, but when I said that's not my opinion about that.
No,
this is what I've heard from certain people who do.
Those people that are in the speaker world will obviously understand the dynamics of it a lot better.
Yeah, but also you need to take into account that for some of these people, this is their livelihood.
That's exactly it.
They've dedicated their life to this craftsmanship.
That's exactly
or this. For example, for those of you who ever want to get into lecturing, and I've spoken to other lecturers as well, young and old, How long do you think it takes to study? Prepare is the right actual word. Prepare for
And
a
study.
15-minute lecture. How long do you think it takes?
So I think it takes, from what I've heard from professional lecturers, it takes 10 times the amount of the
Okay.
actual lecture itself.
Okay, what do you think?
I would say like 3-4 days.
3-4 days. So in total, I spent about 8 hours to prepare for a 15-minute lecture, which included research. Then it included preparing the actual lecture, and then repeating the
When you're gonna have
lecture,
time to
timing
work.
myself, getting the word placements right, and so forth.
When you're going to have time to work, you have
You know what I
rent
mean?
to pay,
So
you have family to feed.
that's 8 hours
Yeah.
for 15 minutes. Now imagine if it was 1 hour lecture. That's going to take me at least 20 hours of research. Okay, so you're
And
not.
ensuring that obviously you're saying
So when
everything
I come to
correctly.
lecture, and I like to do bespoke, like what's the topic, and then I'll research it, this
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and I've got one 45-minute lecture on a specific topic which I've learned from scratch. You know, not that I'll do a general one and I'll go over there with that topic and that. No, this has been specifically tailored for this evening, right? 20 hours I've spent. So what idea should I get if this was my livelihood? If I've got another job and I do this part time just to help, it's a hobby. I'm just giving back. This is
I think you use the right word, bespoke. So
Yeah.
if someone's a local reciter, maybe don't get as much as someone that I'm bringing from abroad, because that guy has taken extra days off, their work, away from their family, away from their studies. It's more of a tiring experience for them. It takes more effort to prepare for those lectures.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're a guest, so you wanna, welcome a guest the correct way. So I think it is a bespoke situation.
I feel for, like these khatibs that do Jummah khutbahs every week.
Yeah.
Every week they have to do something new,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
updated. If you're a resident alim somewhere and you've got 52 Jummah khutbahs to prepare for, one has to be Islamic, one has to be current affairs. How long is a Jummah khutbah together? Half an hour, 45 minutes before they pray?
Probably 40
Every
minutes.
week.
As
It might
other
take
than
them
throughout
the whole
they
week
go,
to prepare for it.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
There's a scholar in London, the son of one of the biggest scholars in London. I'm not going to mention their name. The guy enters Majlis, Umama, student of Islamic law, goes to Hawza lessons every week, 3-4 times a week. When you look at this guy, you see the nur in his face.
MashaAllah.
Such a akhlaqi
Subhanallah.
person. One of the people
Proper student.
proper representative of the madhab, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Every day in the morning, he opens up a shop, in a butcher shop. He sweeps the floor. He works as a cashier. He helps clean up. Then at night, Umama goes back to Majlis.
See, that's what I find beautiful. That is,
It's the most beautiful thing.
Okay.
but the work that he does is an ibadah. Like, for example, there was a guy who saw Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, and he was humiliating him for being a farmer. Yeah. And he said something to Imam al-Baqir, to which he responds that if I was to die in this state, I would die in a state of ibadah. And that what he does is in
providing
addition to
halal
his
rizq
scholarship.
is a form of ibadah. But what I wanted to say in regards to your example, how long did it take that person to get to that level of studies?
Oh, a long time.
Exactly. It's not a case of he's a first year Hawza student or is his first year being...
Okay, this is for khatib. What about a Noha reciter?
Yeah. That's a lot easier for them.
It's not a lot
arguably,
easier.
arguably, because they've got to put hours into vocal
work
training.
their skills and technique and their
And
craftsmanship.
I'm one of the believers of the fact that a majlis should be more about the Noha reciter than the lecturer. Very controversial. I know I get attacked a lot for it.
No, but the original Majlis was Na'i,
Na'i and
Masib
Langa.
and
Straight.
Latam. That's the original.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Tabarak Imam Hussein.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the actual lecture bit came a bit later because
Yeah.
we've got a lot of people. Let's teach them something.
And it's a platform to educate them,
Yeah.
which 100% is
It's fine.
very
It's
important, not just as fine. I encourage it, and it's one of the most important pillars of Majlis.
So
But we can't take away from the Noha reciters. But my point is, would you pay the Noha reciter? When I say pay, in my tongue, pay him a gift, a hadiyah.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe you should have a ratib, a wage, in the service of Imam Hussein. And they are a servant. But would you give a hadiyah to the reciter, the Noha khun, the radud, the same amount as you'd give to the khatib? Both of you. What do you think?
I think we're molded by society, and it's hard to form an actual opinion. But realistically,
If you were to hold the majlis tomorrow,
lecturer, if you were to say, okay, yeah, based on the effort and everything that they put in, you would assume, okay, we find the lecturer gets maybe double what a Radud gets, for example. So yeah,
so what you think? The tone that I'm sensing from you is that depends on the popularity of the.
I don't know. Yeah.
he doesn't want to say it, yeah.
I'll say it straight. Supply and demand.
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand.
But-
you being a bad boy speaker, a khatib, right, lecturer, he's going to have a higher rate because he's more in demand. But at the same time,
But is he not taking advantage of his position a little bit?
Depends.
here's the question,
It depends.
innit?
Here's the
Here's the
question.
question. Now, where does khidma become business? And where
I'll
does
give you
business become
a
khidma?
dangerous story right now to kick it off. Yeah.
Dangerous.
There's a reciter. I'm not going to mention his name, obviously, but really disappointed me.
Wow.
Really, I was genuinely upset about this situation that happened. He was invited to a majlis in Europe. Finished the majlis, مأجورين, أحسنتم, ما أدري شنو, everyone cried, everyone shed their tears, which he gets his thawab for. You know, the tear of someone who falls.
Making people cry, obviously.
For the sake of Imam Hussein can extinguish Jahannam. There's narrations.
100%.
So you've finished all that, you've had all that thawab, you've done so much for the crying and the lamentation of Imam Hussein. But when they give you your hadiyah, you turn around and say, this hadiyah is not enough. Complete the amount and give me the...
What is that? So just bad akhlaq, honestly.
Bad akhlaq. What have they learned from religion? Did Imam Hussein did his companions stand on the side of the battlefield and say, Imam Hussein, I'll only enter the battlefield if you give my family this much money? Like,
That's-
it really
By the way,
frustrates me. You know-
mercenaries, I like that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, there's a story of a Noha reciter, and this was quite recent. I'm not going to say his name because it's hard to authenticate everything. But it frustrated me so much that I feel like I should say his name. But not only did he attend, someone was holding a house majlis and he called a Noha reciter to his house, and everyone came because they were like, oh, this Noha reciter is going to come. And obviously the guy wanted the barakah of the majlis, so he forked out a bit of money to get this Noha reciter. Not only did the guy turn up late, but before turning up, he called up 3 hours after the majlis or 4 hours after the majlis was meant to start, calls up and says, oh, by the way, my rates changes this much more.
This was in Pakistan, wasn't it?
What?
And I saw the video,
And
it's the same one, the
like,
guy was
I
broken.
I'll tell him,
honestly
go.
completely broken. Like he couldn't contain his anger. And even me, like I consider myself a moderately peaceful person, but I feel like I was almost foaming at the mouth in anger and frustration at looking at this, because you've turned Imam Hussein into entertainment, you've turned him into your business, and God's given you a good voice. God's given you the ability to, for example, get the fluke of popularity. And you've just taken everything and you've put it into a ball and thrown it back into his face.
What broke
So
my
that-
heart about that situation, if it's the same one, is the man who was organizing the majlis wasn't angry at the reciter. He was angry and shameful at himself for not being able to organize the majlis to the best of his ability. For his majlis, I don't want to use the word broken, but for not completing the majlis by inviting this person. So he's more ashamed of himself.
That he went with
He went with this
guy.
reciter as opposed to being angry at the reciter. And
obviously
that's the sign of a true
like,
khadim.
turn up to his house with
Yeah.
in a weird way, but the excitement of this Noha reciter coming and he didn't come. So
Where's the limit then in terms of it's not a case of just give them what you want. For example, the most famous Radud in Karbala is Mr. Hamza Zugair.
Yes.
Yeah, Haji Hamza Zugair,
Rahmatullah
rahmatullah alayhi. Apparently he was very poor.
Yes,
he wasn't from a wealthy family.
Yeah.
I think he worked in the dry cleaners or something like that.
Very poor man.
But he was very famous among the people. He was very popular among the people because of his khidma and so forth. I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless his soul, and inshallah all his amal may be accepted. So is he the criteria? Is he the who we should be looking up
Do you
to?
think he'd be respected in London in this day and age as a reciter?
is he trying to get the respect
Locally,
of the people?
I don't think so.
So what?
No,
so what if he's
No,
not
for
respected?
example,
Not in that
we've got the Haji Rasulullah Adam that recite and so forth.
Yeah.
They're well respected, but they're not well known
Yeah.
for their
Correct.
talents.
Correct.
But they're still respected.
Correct.
They're still rated.
But even then, it's like, okay, I understand. Like, there's you have to have that self-respect basically, because you'll get trampled over. But it becomes a thing of what do you need the respect of the people?
That's nice,
Literally.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
but if you believe that you have the ability, because I feel like you have to be selfish sometimes. If I feel like I'm not a Radud, but I feel like if I'm a good enough Radud and I know I have the ability to make these lot all cry,
Yeah.
I would want the opportunity to make these lot cry for selfish reasons, because I know I'll have the ajr.
Yeah, well, and
with
there's
Fatima
nothing
Zahra
wrong in
alayhi
that.
salam.
There's
You get
nothing
it?
wrong in that.
And I know if I don't, because it is a dog-eat-dog world out there, and I know if I don't respect myself and give myself a certain stature, or I don't know what the correct word for it is, or don't respect myself enough, I know that these people won't respect me enough to invite me, to give me the opportunity to make the crowd cry. Do you get it? So I understand. There's a lot of reciters like that, by the way.
Do you think it's a business as well in terms of the more passionate, more God forbid I like this, I don't want to use this word, but it fits the entertaining the khatib or the radud is, the more donations they get. Hence why they put up their prices as well. That look,
Sometimes yes.
if it's a charity event or we'll do one thing, we're going to do the majlis and that, and then we collect cash, I will mention, please donate and this and that.
Yeah.
My mentioning might get you an extra 20, 30, 40, 50% in donations. That's why my rate is a bit extra, because I'm going to let you pocket a bit more.
Sometimes yes. Sorry, I interject.
No.
Sometimes yes, but I'll continue to say till the day I die, the best majalis I have been to, the most emotional majalis I've been to, are the ones that have no electricity, no speakers, or just the local reciters, because they're raw,
Sincere
and raw.
local talent, local talent, and they're good.
And I'll refer to
They're
Al
good.
Hassan again,
Yeah, shout out Al Hassan.
bro. They were in a tent next to train tracks. The
Southall one,
the south.
the Iron Bridge. Yeah,
Bro, the Nahukhun, the Maddah is reciting, and you just hear the train going past, and it's just drowning it out. But you know how raw that was. And me, for someone who does not understand the language, I understand the value of the masa'ib of the Ahlulbayt through majalis like that. Yeah, I'm a firm believer of having, the best of things in majalis. If you can afford it, get red lights, get sawad, get speakers,
food,
the best of food. At the end of the day, this is the house of Imam Hussein, We need to present
Everyone
the
that you invite is your guest, and you want to give them the best experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if it's,
Khatib,
by the way,
Radul.
and I think this goes for probably most of the Khoja community, and probably every community, to be honest. But even if the chai that comes at the end is the incentive for them to come to the majlis, if that's what makes them walk away
Bismillah.
happy, bismillah, go.
Bismillah.
Make the best chai.
Bismillah. And people used to be a big argument about this a few years ago as well. Like, people go to Majlis just for the food. I'm like, Bismillah. If it was just food in the Majlis, I think that's the most important thing in the
Exactly.
Majlis. Because that's what the Imam used to do.
exactly.
He used to bring people over, cry for Imam Hussein, and give them thawab Imam Hussein.
And he used to pay the poet as well.
And he used
Don't
to pay
forget
the
that.
poet.
He gave hadiah to the poet.
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
interesting.
So-
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
This opens. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Okay, I
Imam
get
Musa
what.
Qadhi,
By
man.
the way, what you guys are saying and stuff like that, but where does the limit? Like, where is the limit? Because let's just say I'm from a community. We've got a smaller Husseinia, and I want to do the same thing. I want to bring people to the Husseinia. I want to this, but I can't. I don't have the nice speaker system, etc. And I can't get the big reciter because he costs, I don't know, so much
Manage
money.
expectations, bro.
Organic growth.
Organic growth is at the same
Start
time.
small, work your way bigger and bigger.
There's a khatib I invited last year. He's Arab. I invited him and we were just talking. We became very close friends. He's got a mokib on the mashaya, and he's no imama, ties his head, proper khadim,
Okay, old school.
But he's one of the best khutaba I've heard.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like if you want to talk about levels in terms of, he's one of the best I've heard. Yeah. So if we were going to say how much you're going to give him hadiyah, something crazy. And we all know Muharram is the time where, where a lot of the khutaba make. So he was telling me a story.
I want to say something. On
Or
that
someone
later,
was telling
but
me.
I'll wait.
But make sure you say it. Don't just. It's like, someone was telling me a story about him. So it wasn't him saying it about himself. He goes, this khatib was invited to a majlis for Muharram, and then at the end of the 10 nights, he noticed that the people of the majlis were short on funds, and they're embarrassed to tell him. So they kept sort of approaching him, Sheikhna, we want to tell you something. He was like, listen, just say it. What's the situation? He goes, we don't have the funds right now to give you a hadiyah, but next year, inshallah, we'll give you next year. He was like to them, who said anything about hadiyah? Did I ask you to give me money?
Yeah.
Did I ask you to give me a hadiyah? How dare you even say that?
You suggest.
I'm here to serve Imam Hussein. If you give, it's not you giving, it's Imam Hussein giving.
Yeah.
And that for me is what I like to see in a khatib. So I think at the same time, when you're asking me if you want to bring the best of speakers is not just the best of orators. It's the best of akhlaq, the best of
It's best
etiquettes when it
person.
comes to the majlis. And I have that rule when it comes to rawadid as well. This guy might be the best radud or the most famous radud,
but
but
If he's an arrogant so-and-so off the mic, then...
I don't want to see that person. I don't care who it is, And this is not about Basim al-Karbala. He's here for me. Like, I grew up listening to Mullah Basim. And so in case people want to,
No, but you know what? That's another thing, and I've seen it myself. The arrogance in some of these people who are on
Just
top
to
of
clarify, it's definitely not about Basim.
the, top of the game.
Gonna have half of it wrong.
Right? So I'm talking about the top of the game, and I've seen it in front of me. Guys reciting Noha, this and that. They're all there, everything's going on. And then, he takes the mic away. And then he's shouting at the guy, turn the page properly. What did like that? I'm like, what were you doing?
But
Like, there's
what
lot of-
status
lot
do
of
they
going
think?
on,
What
like-
status do they think they've reached? You know, there's this thing that we try to inbuild into the youth. That, you know, when you take a position, for example, the hijab walk, and again, I'll always mention it because there's miracle after miracle and beauty after beauty within that. Yeah, more for myself, obviously, but we tell them that, you know, by being a volunteer, you don't take a position of authority. You actually are taking the position of a servant.
Correct.
Completely different. You know that Maulana that sits there and gives the majlis, or the Noha Khan who decides to recite. You didn't take a step of authority. You didn't get something over the people. Rather, you became their servant because you came here to serve them.
Yeah.
So don't think you're something special.
Correct.
In fact, like I remember once I was young and in our mosque, a guy came and it's literally Masayib is going on. And him and his entourage, because obviously they have to enter with the entourage. In the old Haiti, the ghusl room was on next to the hall, and you can hear them laughing and stuff quite loudly, and you can hear during the thing. As soon as Matam starts, he comes in through the middle, whole entourage, splits everyone, goes up, goes onto the top of the mimbar, and starts reciting from there. And you know, within our culture, the mimbar, and I think maybe it's shared within the Iraqi community as well, that the mimbar of Imam Hussein has this extremely high level of respect.
Qudsiyah.
You don't just
Yeah.
go and sit there. And then even after that, it was like, finished his Noha Khani, his recitation and stuff like that, came down, starts bantering with his boys again.
Straight to
Like,
matter.
the guys in the crowd, they're still crying over Imam Hussein.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
there's etiquette of the majlis, you know,
Yeah.
and like you see it sometimes, even like when you're walking in, people are having banter outside and stuff like that. They come in, you know what? This is, unfortunately, it's so heartbreaking, but it's the truth. Our community does not respect the Quran. We start every majlis with Quran.
Oh, that's just the time for people to
People on their
arrival
phone,
time.
yeah.
That's just the time to get people to
Delay it, to wait for the hall to fill up.
Unfortunately,
Bro,
yeah.
this is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is, see, when my Quran teachers tell me, when you recite Quran, think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking directly to you.
Hasn't.
He's having a conversation with you, you know, and these are words of wisdom, of ma'rifah. These are words to change your soul. And we should do a podcast on the Quran itself, the different frequency levels and how the energies and things can
Maqamat
change
and
your
everything.
your whole, you know, spirituality in your body and so forth. But they don't respect the Quran. Then comes Hadith Qisa. They're not going to listen
definitely no
to
respect
that.
for that, unfortunately.
Zat Ashura, okay, there's a bit more,
A little bit more.
you
Yeah.
know, respect for
dim
that.
the lights now.
And then
sit
they
in
might,
majlis.
then there might be like a youth lecture. That's when they start coming in.
That's when they go out for the
Let's
breaks
listen.
again.
Let's
Yeah.
have let's give the guy a chance or whatever, this and that. Then the main lecture comes. That's when it's all packed. Then
Oh, whoa, sorry,
Yeah.
a bit early.
Where's
A
that?
bit early, bro.
is it?
Where are you talking
The
about?
half, then the majlis
People are
is
still
going
outside,
on.
bro.
Then you hear, brothers, lights are off. That's when everyone comes inside. And in certain
Ya
communities, that's they wait for the Ya
Hussein.
Hussein.
Oh, packed.
But
Yeah.
what did you take? Like, where's the etiquette? Just sitting in the majlis. You know, I was sitting in a majlis once, and he was saying that, fine, your kids don't understand the majlis. Keep bringing them. Keep bringing them because
Yeah.
there's a light from heaven that shines on the majlis.
100%.
And do everything you can to absorb that light. And he mentioned, obviously, the chai and just the child sitting within that majlis of Imam Hussein. You're missing out. Like, you say this about Imam Hussein, you say about the miracles, you say everything. But when the majlis starts, yeah, I'm going to chill outside. Or when the Quran before the majlis is being recited, I'm going to chill outside.
Why?
Like, lacking etiquette massively.
Can I take this back? Because a thought just came to mind, and I genuinely want you guys' opinion on it. Do you listen to any studio Nohas?
No, I don't like them.
I don't like them.
There's only a couple that actually, yeah, you know what?
Whether it's
bangs.
Arabic, English, Noha,
I don't
Mawlud,
like
even if it's a
studio.
Mawlid, whatever it is.
Live. I prefer live.
So I prefer live, but yeah, time to time I listen
Okay.
to
The reason I
studio
ask
ones.
is because I've seen, you know, the process and of how it is. If Farah Dood wants to record a studio Noha, you know, for the kids, a kid's Noha, for example, do you think that stuff is free?
No way.
Oh, to pay for the studio and that.
Oh,
Obviously,
no,
studio-
just the
sound
studio,
engineer.
studio, sound engineer,
Yeah, no, it's
editor,
not free.
video editor.
Where do we expect him to pay for that from? Again,
his own pocket, or if he can monetize on YouTube now or TikTok, this and that.
So
Maybe
if I'm not wrong,
online.
a lot of them have people that donate for them or
Sponsor
something like
it.
that. They have someone that they turn
So
to.
a lot of the time, sometimes yes, but a lot of the time what they do, the more independent ones who don't have people holding their backs, yeah, what they do is the money that they get paid as hadiyah in the majlis,
they save that up.
they save that up for those
The next
projects.
one.
That is beautiful, to be fair.
So again, when we talk about these issues, it's more of
But by the way, you know, when
different
Understanding-
understanding certain
By the way,
situations.
when
yeah.
I was mentioning, obviously, the taking of money, I think it's fine, by the way.
I think it's important.
To an extent.
I think it's a hadiyah to encourage people as well
Yeah, but
to dedicate more time to their service.
Yeah, but to an extent.
To an extent,
There's-
of course.
Like you know, and this is what I wanted to say earlier that I've been trying not to say. But you know, some people, we hear Muharram straight away. That's it. Heart starts pumping. Already, you can feel the tears about to flow. Other people hear Muharram and they're just, is my
Cha-ching.
wallet big enough? Cha-ching, yeah, all of that, and it's actually become. And by the way, we're talking about 0.001% of the scholars. Like, I don't want to put all of them in this boat, and I don't want to speak bad about the scholars because they are the ones that have seek knowledge. But there is, and not just from the scholars, from the Noha Khans, from people that take advantage and put their rates high because God blessed you with that voice, by the way. God gave you, for example,
But say if you organize majalis, yeah, do you get paid for you organizing majalis?
no.
Okay, why not? Why is the khatib getting a hadiyah, the radud getting a hadiyah, but not you? The one who does all the running around, does all the phone calls, organizing the food, organizing the khatib, organizing
That's
the
a good
radud.
point.
By the way, because one person decides to take the barakah in the form of essentially barakah, the other one decides to take it in this dunya as a word of cash.
No, but there needs to be a balance.
There has to be
Yeah.
a balance. There has to be a
We
balance.
can't say don't give him anything
Yeah.
or give him what we can. No, there's time and effort that needs to be.
Yeah, and
calculated.
listen, I know like
don't
people
think-
take off like 10 days off
I
work and
don't
they've got
think
families to feed
There
and
should
stuff.
be a number put on it. That's it.
As in what you don't think there should be a limit, or you
No,
don't
there
think-
shouldn't be a number.
As
So
in
if
no
I'm
one can
inviting
say
you
what?
into your khatib, say if I want you for 10 days of Muharram, Bismillah, come. But I don't want you to come turn around and say to me, Hussein, I take $1,000 a night.
Habibi,
or
that's
500
cute.
500 a night.
That's cute
That's
because by the way,
because
no, it's 2025.
rare.
It's 2025.
Yeah,
You
rare.
don't speak to the speakers
Oh,
directly.
you speak to the agent.
Speak to the agent.
Yeah. It's true, by the way.
That's the other one because they find it awkward to talk numbers and
But at the same time,
they don't want to say no as well
Yeah,
and be
but-
like this is
yeah.
too low. And
But at the same time,
talk to the agent.
people have agents. We use the word agents. It doesn't sound right. It's because they get so swamped as well. It's not, always,
Okay,
it's not even
yeah,
about the
fair,
money
fair,
a lot of the time, by the way.
And they're getting fun.
Yeah, so I know people who get so many majalis, and may Allah bless them with more majalis and more khidma. But it gets so hectic and they work full time, how they're going to organize it. So they've got like a friend or a cousin who sort of has their schedule. Yeah, please chat to my cousin.
that obviously you give the
yeah,
utmost
so
of respect.
yeah, so sometimes when they have an
Fine,
agent,
but-
it's not a question of
So
yeah.
in business, when you're in demand, your price goes up. So for example, I've got 3 Husseinias that want to book me for I think for the same night.
Would you go for the highest bidder?
So why not? This guy's gonna pay. So I'm gonna say, no, I'm gonna go
Because
give my high.
what's your intention
I'm,
behind
I'm, I'm gonna go to that one. No, Sheikh, we really want you. You know what? I'll put an extra this much for you. You know. This
You know, I know.
Right.
And to be
Yeah,
fair,
money-
I asked-
that's,
money
the
talks.
that's the money that's pulling you then.
yeah,
money
and
talks.
I asked the scholar this, by the way. I said, doesn't the money entice you? And he says every single time I do it, yeah, I get like 3-4 invitations, and he does istikhara, and he goes with whichever direction,
That's the way for it.
or he looks at the community and sees where can I provide value. Because he was saying, for example, his topics are very inspirational to the youth. If he's going to go to a community where the youth are thriving, he goes, actually, maybe I can't provide the most benefit there. I need to go to a community where the youth are lacking.
That's nice. That's
And
nice.
and that is thing, but that just means the intention was in the right place. The one who sees, okay, they're offering $5,000, but you know that $10,000 that's looking quite nice. I might be able to get myself a slightly nicer car or whatever it is.
But think
or-
about that again. Oh, I've got another project. That's really gonna help
Yeah.
with my other project.
But okay, and maybe
Exactly.
now that you've said that, by
I've
the way,
got books to buy. I could go
Exactly.
buy that book now.
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
okay, wait. Now that you've said that, you're pushing me off the fence a little
who are
bit.
you atting? Let me find. Who are you talking about? Let's.
Like he's gonna give the name away.
No,
but
I'm not gonna lie, the clip will go viral if I give names.
No, but can you understand now?
Okay, no, I understand. And maybe through the whole duration of this podcast, I've been judging people's intentions. And we're in no position to judge someone's intention. Maybe the guy who comes there and says, yeah, my rate's 50,000. Some crazy figure. But for all we know, 49,000 of that is going into running orphanages across the world.
Exactly.
1,000 is just to cover his petrol, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
whatever. We don't know.
But
we're judging.
I think he should make that clear.
Yeah, and by the way,
should
make
make
that
that
clear. Why? Because it will inspire the other people. Because people look up to lecturers like that. Because obviously they're the lecturers that can demand that price.
There's that.
Everyone wants to be that
what's
in the next generation.
Scholars for dollars. You know what I mean? That's a label, a stigma that's put on a lot
Label,
of our.
that could be the title of this lecture.
but,
This.
but,
No, but you've seen that with those preachers. You know the
Christian preachers flying in private
Oh,
jets.
Private jets. We're a joke
bro.
compared to what's happening in the world.
That's serious business.
That's a problem.
Champions League of this.
Yeah, we talk about these
Turning
things
religion into money.
because we don't want it to reach that stage, and we know that
by the
inshallah
way-
all of our khutaba and our rawadid and our servants do it with pure intentions.
Inshallah.
And inshallah. And they all, whatever hadiya they get, gets invested back into majalis. There's been so many scenarios, big reciters, yeah? We've given them the hadiya. I'll say it, Mullah Basim. One day we gave him a hadiya, he turned around and gave the hadiya back to us. Straight away, no questions asked. This has happened with plenty of reciters. He goes, this is for your hater, you guys are youth, you guys have spent a lot of money on hiring the venue.
We can see, the thing is, they understand the industry.
Yeah.
And the industry is the wrong word to use as well, but it's the best
But it's just,
word.
they want to bring it
They
closer to
understand the climate.
Yeah.
They when Mullah Basim will come, he'll look at the venue, right? He's already he knows because he's been in the business.
Yeah.
Right, they spent this much here, they spent this much. He's testing the speaker out. Okay, yeah, good quality. This is a $5,000, $10,000 sound system.
And they're all 17, 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
How are they doing that?
He's looking at the setup. Oh, you got palm trees here, you got this. Okay, yeah. He's calculating in his head, right? And he knows, you know. And then he decides that, okay, you know, they're going to pay me this much hadiya or whatever. You know what I mean? Okay. And if I want to give back, because I can see where the money's being spent, I want these shabab to prosper.
Exactly. And he's done that. And a lot of reciters have done that.
And a lot of reciters do that.
And by the way, I feel like we can all fall on the same page in the sense that there needs to be some sort of limitation to it, though, right? And it's just there's things that keep popping in my head. Why? Because listen, you must have seen it. Yeah, there was a thing that went viral. I think maybe a year or two ago, where the guy had a rate card, and on the rate card it's recitation of this. You've seen it, yeah?
Whoa.
But wait! I'll tell you how bad the rate card gets.
It was a menu.
Can I tell you how bad the rate? No, it's literally written like a
QR
menu.
code, and it came out with listed prices.
When you say rate card, yeah, what? So it says for 1 hour of speaking, for example,
This much.
amount, half an hour.
Invitation to the organizer's house this much. Invitation and stays for food this much, and price for everything.
That's a straight X on the. I don't care who it is.
By the way,
that's a straight.
That's quite funny. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's quite hilarious.
It's funny because it's
I know it's
crazy.
hilarious.
Like,
You can justify
how
it
do you
to me.
react?
The cheek.
How do you react? Do you react with tears? Do you react with laughter?
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna lie.
Unless they can maybe my mind is not accepting that because I don't understand. But I don't see any way that can be justified. And
But
if
you know,
they
it's-
can, Bismillah, come chat
And
to
you
me.
know, we
and
try to
justify
look
it
at the
me.
best in everything, but sometimes maybe he's grown up in a culture where it's normal, and he doesn't see anything
Bro, the
bad.
culture
Where
of
is
the
that normal?
Ahlulbayt-
Where is that normal?
The culture of the Ahlulbayt
I'm
is
trying to
above,
give him benefit of the doubt.
There's not, bro. The culture
Someone
of
needs
the
to correct
Ahlulbayt
it. You can't just let it happen.
is above any of this nonsense. The
Yeah.
culture of the Ahlulbayt is the culture
Without
of
doubt.
khidma and service and self-sacrifice.
And you know, by the way, like I feel that, for example, if you're, let's just say, and this has happened, by the way, and you've probably witnessed it yourself, where someone's been expected to recite for half an hour, but the matam's gone on so well, they've recited for an hour, and the person organising the masjid says, please carry on. At the end, they're like, oh yeah, I want a bit extra now. Why not look at that and say, you know, I came, whatever, what's 20 minutes of my time? That first hour, fine, or first half an hour, you gave me some sort of hadiah.
Okay.
The rest of it, that is
Playing devil's
my
advocate. Oh, if I do 20 minutes, next time's going to want half an hour. Next time's going to want 40 minutes. Next time a whole hour.
Okay.
Has
Give
someone
me
got-
2 hours.
Has
Give me
someone
3
got-
hours.
Has
3
someone got
hours
a gun
of
to your
doing.
head?
True. But I don't want to say no. You know what I mean? It's going to look bad.
Okay, what were you here
Finish
for?
it.
Were you not here? Did you not grow up as a kid saying, I want to do service to Imam Hussein? Imam
Yeah,
Hussein says,
that's it.
you're driving all the way here. I'm not going to make you only do half an hour. I'm going to make it worth your journey. Do 2 hours.
If you have another majlis after and you need to leave early to finish it, take the L after the majlis, have words with the
Organisers.
Simple as that. There's ways around it. There's akhlaqi ways around it.
True.
You can't. So here's the thing. We say a lot, even in Arabic, we say tijara wa al-Hussein. Business with Imam al-Hussein. Yeah. They say do business with Imam al-Hussein. In the sense that
Donate, give, invest.
your soul in the khidmah of Imam al-Hussein. And what you will get back is not just tenfold,
700 is it?
a million. Like
Inshallah.
you'll get an abundance of rizq in monetary standards and just of barakah and thawab in your life. Do tijara with Imam al-Hussein. But don't take advantage of the khidmah of Imam al-Hussein. And this stuff that I'm hearing now, bro, is taking
But can you
advantage.
understand why I'm so frustrated?
I can understand, but I thought you were going to say, can you understand why? I can't understand why they do that.
No,
it's ridiculous.
And listen, like
khadim's a khadim.
the sheikh mentioned something. If you can't give with your money, you give with your time, and your time is more valuable than your money.
Yeah.
The guy who makes the chai, God blessed him with the ability to make good chai. keep talking about chai, but God blessed him with the ability to make chai. The guy who organizes it, God blessed him with the ability of being organized. The guy who, for example, organizes the shoe racks or fixes the furniture for the majlis, God blessed him with the ability for that.
The handyman.
The one who does the Noha Khani, the recites the
someone who
Noha, God blessed him with the
organizes the
ability of a
shoes.
verse voice.
Yeah.
Why out of all the people, the 20 people it takes to come together to make the beautiful majlis of Imam Hussein, only one of them charges? God blessed you with that. He gave it to you as, like I say this, do you know when someone makes a lot of money in life? God gave that to them as a loan. Because he's saying, I'm going to test you. How responsible are you with the money that I bless you with? Not you didn't make that money. God blessed you with it. Because every person who's made money will tell you there was an element of fluke in it.
Yeah, 100%.
So the person who has been given the
100%.
blessing of a good voice, that's again, like a loan, it's a responsibility. How are you going to use that responsibility? Charge for it? Okay, fine. Charge for it, but you'll lose your barakah in the akhirah.
I want to move the conversation on from khidma of scholars and...
Just before you do that, a quick one.
Go on.
Would you, as a cameraman in the majlis, or would you pay a cameraman in your majlis?
I'd pay a cameraman. If it was his livelihood. If it was... Okay, so if it was like a young kid volunteering, he's doing for experience and this and that, I'll give him something small. Even if it's a meal out, I'll take you out for a meal or something like that, or pay for your next haircut or something small.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, I can't afford much, but here's a second-hand camera that you can start practicing or whatever. If it was a professional cameraman, I would, and I have done professional sound and camera outside. Not one of the lads or one of the boys like, look, I want it to be a big event or whatever. I've hired a sound engineer to do the sound and a professional cameraman.
You know why I think that's different?
And I paid them, yeah.
Why I think that's different is because he, in that same, if he goes to, I don't know, for some random event that's it's un-Islamic related or whatever, he's got his hourly rate of whatever it is. He doesn't start licking his lips when he hears Muharram and start rubbing his hands together.
Oh, no.
Not saying that the scholars do, but their rates suddenly shoot up, etc. That guy who charges for an hour,
cameraman's
charges
not going
for
to
an hour.
charge double, triple for Muharram. He's got a rate. He might even be lower because it's for charities, for religion and this and that. He might drop it. But he's got his equipment, he's got his time, he's this and that.
The reason
And
I
I'm
asked-
happy to pay him for
Yeah,
that.
100%. Because the reason
But that's
I
his
asked,
bread and butter as well.
cameraman was an example, of course.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
reason I asked that, and sorry, I cut you off, you were on something there. I need to get back to that. It's because do we treat all the khiddam on the same level, which is what you were saying? And that's the important thing as well. How many people are in the kitchen cooking? Sweating near the fire, no aircon sometimes.
But we always pay for the tabarruk and who made it. That person might drop the price or might give you a bit extra that this is my...
Do we though?
Maybe in some
I-
communities and in
my community,
no, as
100%.
in paying for tabarruk. For example, again, chai making or making the juice or pouring the water, or even the people that come and serve
Yeah.
it. They're all people giving their time and effort.
Yeah.
Some of them in the month of Muharram will leave work early, might take some sacrifice and payments as well. They've got an argument as well. Pay me.
I think if it's their bread and butter, right? And I mean, the
Like
person
if they're
who's...
taking time off work.
Not even that. It's their bread and butter. The guy who made the tabarruk is a professional caterer.
Okay, fine.
The guy who's in the camera work, it works in media.
Yeah.
The guy who does the sound is a sound engineer. They're professionals. They get paid to do this. Yeah, I'd pay them.
Because he's got overheads, right?
It's not just over.
And
That's his bread and butter.
But
And
what's
and
your
he's not
expectation?
doing it
Your expectation though, if he's
Is
doing
it
it for a
A1,
birthday party,
my-
and he's,
my-
no, but your expectation, if he's doing it for some random birthday party and he's charging
Yeah.
like £500, you'd expect for the Majlis of Imam Hussein, if he's a Shia Muslim, etc., it
No,
would
but I
be
hear
some
that,
sort.
but
Not
him-
that I know the expectation is there, but even
But
if okay,
it's-
fine,
For
he
those 10
charges.
days, he's no longer doing birthday parties, for example. So how's he paying his rent?
No, but fine, if he still charges £500, fine. Maybe
No,
the expectation
but
is he'll
the thing-
charge a little bit lower. But if he says, oh yeah, Muharram's coming, 10 nights of pure money, I'm
Nah,
going to charge
I'll
more,
tell you,
£800.
No.
But isn't this
You're
what-
right.
but isn't this what people are doing?
You're 100% right on that.
Yeah, and
I would give him his rate that he says, and I expect A1 professional job. That's what I'm paying for at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know it's khidma
And that's
this and
the
that.
same that applies to the Radud. For me.
Yeah.
If a Radud asks for money, like if I'm in a situation where a Radud has come to me and he asks for money, you're working for me.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
working
you're
for
just an
me,
employee now.
but
No,
you're
but you
me.
are. You've taken the
like
role
if
of
I
an
want you to
employee.
read in a certain way, don't tell me no.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm
giving you the
paying you
envelope
for
at
your
the end.
service.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But if I know Aradud, no, I'm giving him a hadiyah, he's not going to cause a fuss. Bismillah, the majlis is yours. Do what you have to do. Make us
That's
cry.
nice as well.
Do you get it? And that's how I prefer to work.
I like your style. I leave it up to you. You recite how you want to
Bismillah.
recite.
But the moment you do a sharat and you put a condition on what you want is the moment that when I request something from you, you don't turn it down.
Yeah.
I don't think majalis should be run that way. But unfortunately, you do fall into situations where you have to deal in that way.
Let me ask you about the flip side then, because it seems like there needs to be some sort of union of Maulanas to make sure that the rate stays as sim.
I don't think so,
It's
but
gonna-
calling it a
you know
rate.
what? It's gonna
But
come that way.
Why? Because about the Husseiniya now that says, you know what, this guy's, he hasn't mentioned the thing, whatever. You just give him like 10, 20 quid, whatever.
That's a mick take, man.
Or imagine the person they haven't exactly discussed. Like they're taking advantage. Basically, there's 20 lecturers out there and there's only 10 Husseinias. So what we'll do instead, we'll charge like a. We won't pay him. There's so many options. We'll just give him a lower rate. We'll tell him if you want to charge, if that's your rate, fine. We'll go to someone who's cheaper.
Yeah, but that's fair as
Or
well.
taking advantage of lecturers.
No, but that's fair as well. Saying that, look, is that your rate? Can you come down? No, okay, no worries. Out of our budget, we're not willing to pay that. Best of luck to you, and you go for somebody else. But at the same time, you know, don't take the mick giving someone 50 quid for an hour lecture. Like,
And he's paid
Yeah.
50 quid in
And-
petrol to
Yeah,
come.
but that's what
Exactly,
it is.
yeah.
People
Come on,
taking the
man.
mic. That's the angle.
The same way
that's
it's the
coming from.
responsibility of a speaker and a radud, it's your responsibility as well to not
Make
give
sure that
them
they
the
can
money,
continue
but
doing
take
the
care of
service.
them. Exactly.
Because God forbid someone ends up in the
Exactly.
situation they want to give service, but they're unable to
Someone was
pay for
telling
the
me a
journey
story.
there.
I can't remember who I was speaking to. They go, there was a radud, a khatib, a Maulana in Bahrain. Yeah. He was lecturing for years, no problem. He's getting his hadiyas. He was living his life of that. He got into issues with the government. Another Shia supposedly caused him problems, and because of that, he was banned from reciting on the minbar for 10 years.
oh, compensation.
For 10 years. Yeah, which means
How
when his
bad is
kids
that?
grew up, they had to pay for their studies. They had to pay for A, B, C,
No, but
D, E.
no. Take the finance out of the side away.
Just
10
yeah.
years he couldn't do khidma for Abu Abdullah Hussein. You stop someone from doing.
But
that is.
I still think that if it's not in his hands, he still gets a thawab of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
because God knows
Wasn't
everyone's
his fault.
intention.
God knows his intentions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what is in his heart. If he was doing it and he was prevented by someone else, the thawab still comes to him. But think about the real world implications that happen from him not receiving those hadiyas. It's, you know,
We're coming towards the end of the show, but this is something we need to touch on. We touched on the khidma of the khatibs, the reciter, the lecturers. We touched on the khidma of the Noah Khans and the Raduds. We touched on people's sincerity in holding a majalis and so forth. One thing we haven't touched, and it's just as important, and we see it every day, is our organizations, our Husseinias, our mosques, our masjids, our committee members, and our CEOs, and the way the structure is, and their khidmah. And are they taking advantage of the positions they're in? And there's plenty of stories of people dipping into the pot and using it for themselves.
do you want to have a crack?
My mouth is closed.
Let me have a crack and so you can word what you want to say because he's going red. He's got a lot of
Because
stuff to say.
I've heard so many stories in the UK, never mind
Yeah.
back home and stuff.
A lot of communities operate differently based on the needs of their community. For example, the Khajur community, they have a more structured, organization.
Government style.
Yeah.
approach.
Government style approach because it works for them.
Yeah.
If you were to bring that to our community, it will not work at all. At all. I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. It just doesn't cater for how we operate.
Maybe you don't relate to it as much.
don't relate to
or
it
you're
as
not,
much.
It's a big jump.
It's more of a free flow situation with us.
Okay.
You come do your khidmah, go. But I think the way, for example, again, this is just examples, the Khajur community is built. They need that structure. And Bismillah, if you need it and you're serving community that way, do it because that's what you need. We don't need it, we're not going to do it, sort of thing. So I don't think we can say they're taking advantage through positions and through power and all of that, even though that would happen even in our communities, and it's happened before. But I think, again, he's going to definitely drop some bombshells here. I can see he's preparing for it. Make sure you drop them. I think ultimately, whoever goes on the minbar, it is the responsibility of that organization and that community. So if we do end up with a khatib who does something silly like, on the minbar say, we need some more donations so they can pay for my hadiyah, for example, that's not the khatib's fault. It's my fault for inviting that khatib and not vetting that khatib. Ultimately, it comes down to the organizers and the way they vet their khutaba and their nawhakhuns and their khaddam.
I was thinking more on the side of they're supposed to be providing khidmah, whether it's Friday prayers or majalis on the weekends and this and that, but they're dipping into the pot for themselves building extensions in their houses and God knows what. You heard about this?
This happened everywhere, by the way. It's happened,
Yeah. Every community has this,
in
by
London.
the way.
It's happened in London.
Yeah.
Several places. The
It's
stuff
happened in Iraq.
Oh, plenty of times. But I think with Iraq, there's so much money out there right now. People think Iraq is poor when it comes to
No,
there's so much money
There's a lot
out
of cash
there.
out there.
One of the richest oil states in the world.
But people still think, you know, these market are poor. No, they're rich and they've spent money on their majalis. Imagine feeding
Don't worry,
20,
the
30,000
Mustangs-
people.
The Mustangs
Oh,
parked
yeah.
behind the Mokibs give it away.
Yeah, but they're rich. Like we can't. That's
No,
another,
but it
that's
doesn't-
another
it's
thing
not
as
a
well.
poor
Just
person's
because,
thing, by the way.
yeah, that's
Khidma
just,
is not a poor person's
exactly. Just because a khatib or a radud has a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, why not?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
He worked
Just
for
because the
it.
khadim has a Lamborghini or a Ferrari.
No, don't.
Why not?
Don't get it twisted. A lot of khatibs, radoods, scholars
Yeah.
come from wealthy families.
And
Yeah.
by the way, a
this
reason to
is
respect
their
it, like-
lifestyle and
yeah.
so forth.
Like when
This
you
is the
see, by the way,
status.
like when you go to the, like, I know I was just making a joke about it, but when you go to the Mokib and you see this Mustang at the back, you think, well, this guy's probably in the kitchen slaving off. He could probably pay people to come and do
This
it.
means
But
Yeah.
he's there.
that shows me that this guy is worked his life to make so much money and he hasn't forgot the khidmah of Imam Hussein.
Yeah.
And he's spending the money that he's earned. That's what we have to do when we judge people's intentions. You know, when you give them the benefit of the doubt. He's worked and he's made so much money and he's giving back to the khidmah of Imam Hussein. That's what we have to see it. Not, oh, this guy, you know, he's just collecting money. He's bought cars for himself through the donations.
This happens.
Which happens,
This
100%.
yeah.
But I like to see it in the positive light. And I like to drown out that nonsense. Even though we do have to call it out to stop it.
I mean, it would have been nice if they made proper investments that they can stop asking for donations. You know, Hosseini bought X amount of flats and properties. We're getting X amount of rent coming in now.
That's the Khoja
You know,
way.
Yeah, I've had-
it's it's the best way
But I've
forward.
had discussions about this by the scholars. They say, but when people donate money, they don't donate it with the intention
They
of
donate
it
it to a specific cause, right?
Yeah. So if they donate it for the Majlis, you can't invest that money.
By the way, if a Hosseini no longer had to ask for donations, people actually lose the opportunity to actually donate, by the way.
That's another thing as well.
So maybe things run in a certain way, but
True.
I
there's
agree
two
with
things
that.
I want to say. Firstly, before I say what I want to say,
You have to say it. I'm waiting for
is
this. Yeah.
the organizers and stuff, they get a lot of flack, by the way. Like, they get a lot of stick. But I've seen firsthand from my own community and other communities as well, these guys invest hours and hours, day to day, sacrificing family time, sacrificing even like while they're in their offices, they've got these big jobs going on, having to take a pause so that they can organize the mosque stuff.
May Allah bless
And
them.
then you've got
May
stuff
Allah bless
popping up like, oh, not enough volunteers turn up for the funeral. I'm one of the like managing committee. I have
Yeah.
to go run there. Because someone has to do it, right?
Yeah,
They've
obviously,
taken
it falls
such a
on
big
them.
responsibility
Yeah,
on
I
their
hear
shoulders.
that, I hear that.
So they're not just giving minutes, they're giving days. They're giving months
Yeah.
at a time towards the khidmah of their community, towards Imam Hussein. But if you think haram money is bad, when a poor man has come to the Husseiniyah and out of his love for Imam Hussein has said, you know what, okay, fine, I might struggle. I'm like, for example, instead of buying 2 liters of milk, we're gonna have to buy 1 liter of milk. I'm gonna cut down the amount of milk I use in my chai or in my tea.
Sincere sacrifices.
But even if that means I got to sacrifice £20 this month, because that for me is a large amount of money, I'm going to give that £20, which for him, by the way, in value is a large amount of money. If there is an organizer out there who thinks, yeah, you know what, we need a shelf done, I'll get my friend, pay him double, he can build a shelf at my house and build a shelf here, get the mosque to build it.
I must have paid for it.
Get the mosque to pay
For
for
the
it.
shelf at the Husseiniyah
Or-
and the shelf at my house.
And people do it, and he said people do it all over the world. It's not limited to one community. Or, for example, house extensions, kitchens. I mean, for example, let's just say, okay, the mosque kitchen needs redoing. They suddenly you look at the papers. How did it cost 100 grand to fix a kitchen?
Yeah.
Why did you not look at other people, for example? Why didn't you look and tender the job? This is not your money, by the way. Look, you want to throw your money around, throw
Okay,
your
do
money
you think
around.
it'll be fair?
If it's the money of the Husseiniyah, like my dad told me this once, and just before you ask your question, my dad told me this once, because we went to change, we were in Iraq, we wanted to give some donation, and there was an exchange place just downstairs. So my dad goes, oh, I'm going to go exchange the money, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. 1 hour, we're waiting in the room. Obviously, no phone connection, whatever. Where is he? Finally, he comes back with the money he's converted. I was like, what took you so long? We're waiting here. I got a little bit upset because we were going to be late to go to where we needed to go. He goes, yeah, I went to change the money. I was like, but the place is just downstairs. I could have done it. And he goes, yeah, if it was my money, I would have gone downstairs. But this is money for donation. If I'm going to go shop to shop
Get
to
the
make sure I
rates,
get the
get
best
the
rates.
best rate.
But that little act that it made me think about so many things in life. Like I've seen people from, if they're spending their own money, and they have to buy like, I don't know, a jar for serving water. They're going IKEA, they're searching on Amazon, they're going Temu, they're searching on Alibaba to find the cheapest one because it's their house. But mosque's money, bro. If you got to buy it from Versace, buy it from Versace because it's not going to affect my pockets.
That's not.
And what's their no, because they're taking advantage of the fact that it's not their money. The ones that are doing it with the pure intention of no, because I want people to have the best service in the Husseiniya, that's different. But there's 100% people there that they don't shop around, they take advantage of. And that £20 that guy donated, by the way, for him is absolutely nothing. As in, for the guy who donated it's a lot, but for the other guy who spends it, it's nothing. But you just like what have you done?
If you have a khadim who's in the mosque, طبعا Muhammad Fahd, the producer, keeps coming in telling us to cut this, but we're not stopping. This is important topics, yeah? So you can stay outside where we've got a lot of important stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I'll make you a chai, don't worry.
If there's a khadim who's committed full-time to the Husseiniya, full-time to the Imam Bargha, to the center, and he's got nothing else apart from the Khidma of Imam Hussein, but he lives 2 hours away, would you use funds from the organization to buy him a car?
Yeah, pay him well. 100% pay him well. But if
you're talking wage, or you're talking...
Well, I mean, if it is a job of employment, yeah, of course there's khidma with it, and he's actually lucky to be in a position like the people that work at this channel, for example.
It might be
they've got an earning, but they got some sort of advantage that not only are they earning a livelihood, but their livelihood is a khidma for Imam Hussein. So in a normal job,
what a blessing.
Pay him a wage. Yeah,
what
honestly,
because that money you're getting, the wage you're getting, the hadiya is from Imam Hussein.
Honestly, but you know when someone is just earning like a normal employer. Or a normal employee rather, they get given a set wage.
Yeah.
If the employer, as a business, wants to give them a car or whatever, you're going to treat them like an employer, right? You don't blur the lines and say, oh, this guy should be earning less because he's working at a mosque. Will instead of paying him £2,000 a month, we're going to pay him 1,500. The other 500 he can give as a donation. The other 500 is his barakah. That's pay them well. They're serving your community. Pay them well. Yeah. Whatever God decides for them, God decides for them. And it's like you mentioned the camera guy. You're going to pay. You pay peanuts, you get monkeys, for example.
Yeah.
You're going to pay the guy rubbish money. He's going to give you a rubbish job. Pay him well. But it's just for those people that are getting paid, don't take advantage.
That's it. Just
don't take advantage.
Don't take advantage of the servants, and for me as a servant, not to take advantage of the khidmah of Mount Hussein.
And honestly, but we're living in London, we're so lucky because there's people probably in a village in, I don't know, Samoa or villages in parts of Europe.
There's no Husseiniya there.
They've become Shia Muslims, or they live there
everywhere in the world.
Listen,
I know you did a little tour in it.
You'll be surprised.
But I spoke to someone recently from Romania. Okay. And they were telling me, there's... in fact, I'll give you a different example. So a guy from Argentina. Nice. He became Shia through just research online. And he's said the closest Husseiniya is like a 4-hour drive from him. He's been there once. It's very difficult for him to integrate with the culture because it's like a strong cultural place or whatever. I think it was a Lebanese place.
South American.
Straight
Lebanese.
Up Argentinian. Yeah. He, by the way, isn't given the opportunities that some of us are given.
Oh, definitely.
Like, you know, bro, okay, I complain. I got to drive 2 hours to come all the way here or an hour and a half. Baba, I get given the opportunity to drive an hour and a half to give the khidmah of Imam Hussein. So not only do I sit in the set here, for example, and give the khidmah, but on top of that, the hour and a half here and an hour and a half there, all of that is khidmah of Imam Hussein. This guy is dying just for the opportunity to serve someone a glass for the sake of Imam Hussein, and here I am with all these opportunities. But when those opportunities come to you, don't take advantage of it.
100%.
Don't, because you will be answerable to Imam Hussein.
100%.
And God will, and when the scales on the day of judgment are there and you're wondering, what's this big ball in my bad deeds? Why are they so weighed down? Say, by the way, all those good deeds that you did, you took all your barakah in this world.
Subhanallah.
You cut out the opportunity in akhirah. You will be answerable. Not you, sorry, but...
Well, I'm not going to say anything. I keep getting dirty looks from Muhammad Fahd.
Final thought.
Final thought, we say these things for ourselves more than anything else. So I pray to Allah that my intentions are pure when I serve Imam Hussein, when I serve the community. And I pray to Allah that I never fall in a certain situation in my life, nor anyone from my family will fall in a situation, but we take advantage of the khidmah of Imam Hussein. I will always be selfish. I'll always fight for a place to do khidmah, whether it's to clean, whether it's to take care of the radud, whether it's to do matam, whatever it is. I'll fight for it just so I have the opportunity to do it. But I'll never take advantage of that khidmah because it's a blessing that is given to you and it's an amana that's given to you.
Ahsan. Thank you very much gentlemen, and may your amal and your azar carry on during this holy month. And I mean, if we have said something that you may have thought was a bit rude, or we were trying to disrespect any radud or any khatib, we do apologize. That was not our intentions. These are real issues in our community which need to be addressed 100%. And discussed. Furthermore, you know, during this holy month of sorrow and mourning, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of your amal, all of your azar, inshallah. And a final note is that a lot of people are giving up their time to do khidmah. Sometimes they give up their life. So please be fair when it comes to the hadiyah. And furthermore, those of you who like to have a rate for your service for Abu Abdullah Hussein, be kind and generous. There are many, many communities struggling, but still want to feel the magic and spirituality that you provide in the service of Abu Abdullah Hussein. I want to leave you guys with this one thought. If Amirul Mu'mineen was to charge for his wisdom, the world would be bankrupt. And on that note, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.